God will never use you alone. He will use you with people. He will use you with people for people. He will use you for people with people. So quit being a lone ranger. Learn to walk with others. Learn to lay aside your nuances and learn to walk with people. You know, we're a multicultural church. We have people from the south, we have people from the west, we have people from the east, we have people from the north, all in Power City. Now we have people in different countries. We have Americans, we have Chinese, we have Japanese, we have people from the Middle East, we have people all over Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Namibia, Johannesburg. We have people from Lesotho, we have people from Malawi, we have people from Ghana. All these are different cultures. We have people in Europe, the United Kingdom. We have people all over the world. We are a global church, multicultural. We must be able to lay aside our culture and walk with God's plan. If we're going to go far, we must be able to put aside all our cultural differences and walk as a team. Because what brings us together is stronger than what divides us. What holds us together is stronger than our differences. When we are together, there's nothing we cannot do. When we are apart, there is nothing we can do. When we are together, there is nothing we cannot do. But when we are apart, there is nothing we can do. And this is true of every venture. Any venture where people are united, they accomplish. Once there's division, the strength is broken. What happens in division is that it changes our focus. When we are divided, our focus changes. We are no longer on our goal. We are now on ourselves and petty things. We are now petty. Every little thing we complain. I don't like the way he talked to me. In my culture, when you talk like that, it's an insult. Petty, petty, petty stuff. David is now a team player. In 1 Samuel 30, they go to war. Look at verse 10. They go to war. 1 Samuel 30 verse 10. David pursued, he and 400 men. For 200 abode behind, which were so faint that they could not go over the brook Besor. So 600. 200 could not go, so they stayed at home, while 400 went to battle. All right? Now, when they came back and won the war, look at verse 21 and 22 of 1 Samuel 30. And David came to the 200 men, which were so faint that they could not follow David, whom they had made also to abide at the brook Besor. And they went forth to meet David and to meet the people that were with him. And when David came near to the people, he saluted them. Next verse. Then answered all the wicked men of Belial and of those that went with David and said, because they went not with us, we will not give them out of the spoil that we have recovered, save to every man his wife and his children, that they may lead them away and depart. Now look at verse 23. Listen carefully, all leaders. Then David said, you shall not do so, my brethren, with that which the Lord had given us, who had preserved us and delivered the company that came against us into our hand. Next verse. For who will hearken unto you in this matter? But as his part is that goeth down to the battle, so shall his part be that tarrieth by the stuff. They shall part alike. That's a team player. Those of us that went to fight and those that stayed at home to take care of home, they took care of home front while we went to battle front. When we come back with victory, we will share equal. That's a team player. A team player doesn't eat it alone. A team player makes sure that even when he is praised, he shares the praise with all the members of his team. That's a team player. A team player doesn't take all the credit. He doesn't take all the glory. He ensures that everybody partakes in the reward. Just like Romans 16, Brother Paul recognized everyone that contributed to his fulfilling God's purpose. Everyone, including those that gave him food, those that... No contribution to the vision is insignificant. No contribution to the vision is insignificant. I am not one that forgets. I do not forget that there was a time I had nowhere to stay. Somebody gave me a place to stay. There was a time I had no food to eat. Somebody gave me food to eat. There was a time in ministry I did not have anything, no money to do what I needed to do. Somebody supported the vision. I am not one to forget. They are all part of my team. There are people working hard that are not the face of this ministry. They are in the background, behind the cameras, in the studio. Nobody sees them. The sound people running up and down to make sure the sound is working. The technical people, they are all, if all of them are not part of this, we won't be able to reach out to the world. The lighting people who make sure all the lights are always put in place, they are always replaced, they are always functioning. Everybody, those that clean and sweep, those that fix the place, those that ensure that everything is functioning. There are people that wake up to make sure that the generator, because you know we don't have light in Nigeria all the time, so all the time you see us do church here, we're using a generator, you know, and it's a lot of money, and there are people that make sure those things are all working. Everybody is doing something to make sure, and all of them are part of what makes this thing successful. It's not just ABEL, DAMINA. ABEL, DAMINA alone can't do this. Even my microphone, if the sound man wants to be very wicked, he can just make the thing not work. And when we say what is it, he can say the microphone is not good. So what do? No church, no microphone. And tomorrow he can say, oh, I touched it last night, it's working now. What will you do? But because all of them have understood the vision, so everybody is giving his maximum. Everybody is doing his best. Everybody is working to ensure that everything is effectively working. So the success of this ministry is our collective success. There are people in houses right now coordinating things. There are people in campuses right now coordinating things. There are people all over the world doing one thing or the other to make this vision a success. Everyone is part of the success of this ministry. And Brother Paul took time to acknowledge all of them, recognize them, and called their name in Romans chapter 16. And he said all of these people were part of the people that made it happen for the ministry. Are we still in the building? There are people that are right there praying for me as I'm teaching. There are people that are right there fixing things. There are people that are, you know, that are all over the place making sure everything is working. These are people who are not the teachers on TV. You will hear their voice on radio broadcast, but they make sure it goes on. They go on evangelism when no one is there. A leader must recognize his teamwork, but we must also win the same war together.